Welcome to Bristol, Tennessee, here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Joining us in the booth is good friend Scorch Productions, and we're going to see quite a fun race here today. Handing it over to him. What do we have here with the playoffs?
It looks like Reddick's probably going to be a pretty strong car going into this race, considering his massive points lead he has out front. He'll probably advance today, long as he doesn't DNF. Same with Hamlin. Even if he didn't win in the regular season, he is most likely to move on. Two to look at before we get into this, Logano and Truex, they're going to be fighting pretty hard to get into the next round. So back over to you.
Yeah, a lot of playoff drivers here not only in desperate need of some points, but also in need of just some desperate days, as their season has not been the best considering the rest of their performances in their career. But be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this series in order to keep up with everything and know who will become the champion of season number 5. Now, looking down at pit road, we're about getting ready to get this race started. Let's get started to look at the ones to watch here, starting with Carson Hocevar.
Carson Hocevar is starting out on pole today. A rookie pole winner. This hopefully will put him in place to possibly win this thing if he plays his cards right. Might help him with the Rookie of the Year, but Josh Berry looking very strong in that category. So hopefully he can keep it consistent up there and have a great race today.
Joey Logano here, starting a bit farther back behind him. He's last in the playoff points, but he's been red hot recently. Martinsville, one of the black eyes on that performance, however, very well could have walked away with a win. However, Josh Berry was not too kindly to the 22. Either way, Joey Logano is still in the playoffs, and he's looking for a good race here today. And a bit farther down in the back of the pack, it's these two playoff drivers, Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell. Walk us through what happened with these two.
Kyle Busch ended up having a motor go out. They ended up getting a replacement in that thing, and Christopher Bell unfortunately had electrical problems over in his car. It looked like they got it sorted out before the race is going to begin, so hopefully these two can push back up the front and get a good points day. Bell's definitely going to need that considering his playoff hopes. So hopefully they can get through it and get something done today.
As the cars roll off here, let's get to your starting lineup at Bristol Motor Speedway. On the pole, it's Carson Hocevar, the rookie, to the inside of young Ryan Blaney.
On row 2 on the inside, it's going to be Chase Elliott, and to his outside, it's going to be Joey Logano.
Last week's winner right there. And then his adversary from Martinsville, Josh Berry, to the inside of Willie B.
On row number 4, you're going to see Ross Chastain on the inside. For Trackhouse on the outside for Joe Gibbs Racing, it's going to be Martin Truex Jr.
And then we got Toyota teammate and team owner Tyler Reddick to the inside of Denny Hamlin.
Inside of row 6, you're going to see Austin Cindric there, and then off to the outside was Kyle Larson. Going to give you a quick rundown of the remaining order, and then we're going to get going in this race.
Yeah, you can see Daniel Suarez here starting to the inside of Justin Haley, now in the 7 car. Corey LaJoie no longer in this series as there is no full-time number 51. No part-time drivers in this playoffs here. So we're going to have a full-blown full-time roster here in Bristol.
Rounding out your final row will be Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell. You saw they had damages of their own out there in practice, but they'll be coming back with their new engine and new electronics. Race facts is going to be a 16-lap race, 32 cars. Last winner of this race was Kevin Harvick. He's no longer here, but back to you, AA.
And be sure to use code AAPCS at checkout for Sportlight Diecast to get 5% off and free shipping on all orders that are $20 or more. As the cars round off at turn 4, looking to start the playoffs here with the bang. The green flag's in the air. Carson Hocevar leads us down to the green. Good jump from the 77 of Hocevar. Blaney struggling on that outside. Here comes Elliott now, taking a peek down to the inside.
Oh, big wreck on the backstretch. It looks like 3 cars are involved. Austin Dillon, John Hunter Nemechek, and Daniel Hemrick all involved. We're going to have to see what happened there. Unable to tell who started that whole thing, but we caught it in the back of our eye. Let's get a replay right here.
Oh, yeah, it looks like Hemrick got into the 42 of Nemechek, and then Burton was all over the rear end of the 31. No! Harrison Burton had nothing
Actually,
to
it
do
looks
with
like the
that.
43 was involved of Eric Jones there.
Yeah, the 43, it looks like the 42 came across the nose of the 31. That got him all squirrely and loose and got up into the 43. Not to mention that the number 8 and number 20 almost got caught up in this crash as well. They were really close to ending their days early.
There's your choose cone order right there. Not too long until we go green. They're going to come off turn 4 in a moment. It looks like they're about to go green. Here they go, going green again. Hostvar will lead them into turn 1.
Elliott on that outside lane trying to make that lane work as he's going to try and round it. He's going to be on the bumper of the 77. Maybe trying to use the bumper here just to get around him. Barry's in third. He's watching these two. Maybe if they get together, there's the bumper. The 77 goes up the track, and the 9 goes to the race lead. Now Barry takes advantage of Kosovar falling off the pace. As we see here, Ryan Blaney and Ross Chastain, these two, they've been at it throughout this entire season. Watch out for those two as we see Kosovar really falling off the pace here.
Blaney's going to get in there with the Kosovar. He's going to keep it going, and we're going to get a replay on that. Was that self-inflicted or something with 12? It looks to be mostly self-inflicted, but maybe there's some minor damage there, but we're going to see what we can get off seeing if he comes out back on track or not.
Yeah, he's not going on the pit road either, so it doesn't look like he's getting any fresh tires, but yeah, self-spin from the 77 of Kosovar, as we said, fell off the pace. He managed to hold a position between Byron and Truex, so we'll see what he'll be able to do on this restart. Barry choosing the inside as the leader of Elliott goes to the outside.
Robert!
Coming to green here, Josh Berry and Chase Elliott going to be on the front row. Coming back to the restart. Here we go. Green flags back in the air. Down to the inside. Logano pushes Berry up into Elliott.
There. Logano's going to stay out front. Reddick's to his inside. Byron's going to be following real close behind Reddick. Reddick gives him a little bit of a nudge. Byron gives Reddick a nudge. Now Byron to the lead. Reddick's going to remain second. Here comes Berry on the inside. Berry's going to take second away from Reddick. Berry keeping that pressure on Byron into turn 1. Martin Truex Jr. peeking on the inside of Reddick. They go down into 3. Oh, Berry gives a shot to Byron. He makes the pass.
Now here comes, look at Christopher Bell here in the back, up 19 positions since the start of this race. Oh, Buescher in the wall, 3 wide for a second there as Busch also gaining some ground. He's plus 18 spots right now as Christopher Bell is trying to get around the number 48 and the 5 of Kyle Larson.
Back to the front up here. You got Berry out in front. Still Truex in second now since we've last seen him. Here comes Reddick around Byron. We're going to have a good running order. Here comes Elliott on the inside of his teammate. Martin Truex Jr. making a move for the race lead. He will take it from Berry.
Oh, and we got trouble. Around goes Carson Osavar. He collects Kyle Larson in the mix as well. Major damage to the number 77 and the 5. The 77 crab walking as he goes down the pit road.
All right, let's get a closer look of what happened here. It looks like Bell got a little bit of contact with 77, gave him a push into turn 3, which ended up collecting Larson there. Unfortunate for Larson. And Carson Hocevar as a whole, Carson Hocevar was having probably one of his better days of the season, and he just faded towards the back, wrong place, wrong time type of deal. What do you think of it, Double A?
Obviously, Bell wrecking the 77, and then Kyle Larson, of course, not in the best point situation right now. This would definitely put him below the cut line if he's unable to finish, but he's off pit road. His damage is repaired to the most part, and Hocevar is in the garage. Choose rule here. We're going to be coming to 3 laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Coming off of turn number 4. Green flags in the air. Josh Berry and Truex lead us to the line.
Truex is going to get a strong launch on Berry. Here comes Elliott to the inside. Elliott's going to take the lead in one good move. Truex still on the outside. He's going to be able to clear Truex. Berry's going to stay on the inside, possibly going to get the edge on Truex coming into turn 1 and 2. Berry's going to make a charge. Look like he's peeking under Elliott. He's going to come off 4. White flag.
One more time around here. Berry puts the bumper to the 9. The 9 up the track. Berry to the inside. He's got half a car length on the 9. Through 3 and 4. Berry slides up the track. Contact. But Josh Berry wins at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Let's analyze this finish real quick. Going into turn 1, Berry gave Elliott the bumper, moved him up the track. Elliott stayed on his outside. Berry defends the bottom. Elliott tries to rip the high side. Berry just covers him enough Elliott wasn't able to do anything to him. He tried to turn him a little bit. It looked even, but it just wasn't enough to get it done. Here's another review of that move, and I believe Truex came home third between that battle for third. Pretty close finish between them as well. Very excited to get his first win today in the series.
Yeah, of course, Josh Berry coming home with his first career win. Chase Elliott coming up runner-up. Truex barely managed to get third away from Logano. But how about Christopher Bell coming in with a top 10 finish, and then Kyle Busch as well. Both of those two started in the back. Both of them coming in with solid finishes considering their starting spot. And Kyle Larson came in with barely anything above the cut line. Is now going to be exiting below the cut line with that 26th place finish. And then Carson Osavar, the biggest upset of today, starting on pole, ends up DNFing and finishes 30th.
A quick little shout out to my boy Stenhouse over there, Mississippi driver. But let's go over to the point standings real quick. Tyler Reddick and Denny Hamlin did advance exactly like I said if they did everything right. Some of the guys that are further back, like Kyle Larson, had an unfortunate day. Sad to see them. Sad to see how his day went. Keselowski, a quiet finisher this race, but he moves up to fourth in the playoff standings. He'll probably get into the next round if he doesn't have any unfortunate events. Buescher gets out of the chopping block, and some other finishers out to look for.
Good points days for some of these drivers, and a lot of pretty bad points days for these drivers. Kyle Larson, like you said, below the cut line now. And Joey Logano, even though he finished fourth here today, he is still the 12th seed like he was coming into this race.
Martin Truex Jr., another one of those playoff drivers, had a great finish at the end, but still ninth below the cut there, so unfortunate day for him.
Absolutely, yeah, even though a third place finish here today, still on that chopping block. But thank you again, Scorch, for joining me here today. Next week, we'll be going to Nebraska Roval. We'll see what happens there. Thank you for joining me.
I got a quick question. What about that pay that you were talking about earlier?
Oh, man, that's not good.
Hey, hold
Anyways,
on.
we'll see you guys in Nebraska.
Hold on a second. Wait.